Good day to you all, podcasters. This is Lawrence, and welcome back to the Lawrence Perspective. In the Australian media, one thing that has always intrigued me, when I look at the news broadcasts and I find that Sky News is well represented, I've always asked myself, hey, this particular channel is very right-wing and very almost ultra-conservative. How does it fare among the other broadcasters in Australia? Is it a fair representation? Is it a limited viewing, and does it have a smaller audience? Well, as it turns out, when one investigates, one finds that, in fact, Sky News, while well represented online and with YouTube and podcasts and other avenues, still represents a minority. And the fact that a lot of its presenters have come from a fairly right-wing background, such as Andrew Bolt, Peter Credlin, Paul Murray, and Chris Kenny, they all share rather very right views, and they offer all their takings, all their stories and views with that slant in mind. Now, that's obviously what they're paid for. I wouldn't take that away from them. But when one looks at the Australian broader news media structure, there are other alternative channels like the ABC, SBS, 7 News, and 9 News, and 10 News First. These all represent a fairly broad spectrum of views and opinions, and they also offer a more broader general news-worthy items. And that's again represented in the fact that a lot of them are free to air, whereas Sky, in some instances, is part of a packaged subscription network. I don't take anything away from them in that regard, but I think the majority of people, just like in the UK, people tend to watch the BBC World News and similar channels. I think the same applies to Australia with a public service broadcaster like the ABC, which I would imagine has a very large share of the news channel. It offers a 24-hour news channel broadcast, which is a fantastic channel if you like sort of bland, mediocre, just straight monolithic news gathering and not much in the way of detailed analysis. 7 News is very popular because it comes on at specific times in the day, 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and where people have come from work and are watching the news, and it captures that audience, that just commuters that come back from work and sit down to hear what's been going on. But these days of YouTube, everyone has a different options that they can look at in terms of what the news gathering can be. And if you're a person from an ethnic background, you can also have access to channels from your home country, your background. Yeah, not that Zimbabwe has much to offer, although it does have at the moment a fairly small news broadcasting service that it offers, as does South African Broadcasting Corporation as well. So there are bits and pieces that one can get a more variety and more varied views on the world. But Sky News, I'd watch them with a very, very close eye. The Sky News itself is become influential, like I said, because of YouTube and Facebook. and all the digital clips that one can get these days, and then just short opinion videos which you get on YouTube, and the rise of the right wingers like Pauline Hanson and Barnaby Joyce has brought rise to them featuring a lot more prominently on Sky, and sometimes even getting their own broadcasting timeline and programming, which is fantastic for them. And Sky News represents, or they claim to have, 11 million viewers across Australian TV. Basically, that all includes all the platforms like the online and social platforms. Obviously, that's capturing a larger audience watching the same stuff everywhere else. But in terms of ranking, in Australia, you get, first of all, the ABC News, which is the largest broadcaster. And then you've got 7 News, which follows on for quite closely. And then the third one is 9 News, which has a large commercial audience. And then you've got News 10, or rather Network 10 News, which has a much smaller audience. And SBS is also a much smaller audience. And it's more focused on people of a migratory and ethnic background. So that's my take on Sky News and its dominance or lack thereof in Australian news channeling and reporting and analysis. I hope you enjoyed that little snippet, basically, and feel free to comment, like the video, check out the channel, and have a good day.